Have you ever wondered what happens when a civilization just vanishes? I'm not talking about a slow decline. I'm talking about entire cultures, millions of people, advanced cities, all gone, seemingly overnight. They are the ghosts of our past, leaving behind silent monuments and mysteries that haunt us to this day. What really happened to them? And more importantly, could it happen to us? Join me as we journey back in time to uncover the untold stories of civilizations that disappeared without a trace. We'll walk through the empty streets of once thriving metropolises, now reclaimed by jungle and sand, and try to piece together the puzzle of their sudden demise. Imagine, for a moment, the Maya civilization in Central America. For centuries, they built incredible pyramids, developed a complex writing system, and mapped the stars with astonishing accuracy. Their cities, like Tiklan-Calakmul, were bustling hubs of trade, art, and intellectual life. But then, around the 9th century, something went terribly wrong. The people abandoned these magnificent urban centers, leaving their temples and palaces to be swallowed by the rainforest. For a long time, the reason was a profound mystery. What could possibly compel an entire population to walk away from everything they had built, or consider the Indus Valley Civilization, also known as the Harappans? In what is now Pakistan and India, they were masters of urban planning, with sophisticated drainage systems and grid-like street layouts that rivaled those of modern cities. Their society was peaceful and prosperous for nearly 2,000 years. And then, silence. Their script remains undeciphered, and their cities, like Mohenjo-Daro, were simply deserted. There are no signs of a massive invasion or a final, decisive battle. It's as if they just packed up and left. Where did they go? Why did they leave? These are not isolated incidents. From the Anasazi in the American Southwest who constructed breathtaking cliff dwellings, only to abandon them to the mysterious Minoans on the island of Crete, whose vibrant culture was snuffed out and its prime history is littered with these phantom societies. Their stories are not just tales of ancient peoples. They are chilling warnings, etched in stone and bone. So, what were the forces powerful enough to erase entire civilizations from the map? The clues are scattered, but archaeologists and scientists are beginning to connect the dots. One of the most significant culprits appears to be a silent, invisible killer. Climate change. For the Maya, severe, prolonged droughts seem to have been a major factor. Imagine year after year of failed crops, of reservoirs drying up, of a society built on agriculture slowly starving. The intricate social and political structures they had built would have crumbled under the immense pressure. The gods they worshipped for rain would have seemed to abandon them. In such a desperate situation, leaving their cities might have been their only option for survival. Similarly, evidence suggests the Indus Valley Civilization faced a dramatic shift in weather patterns. The monsoon rains, the lifeblood of their agriculture, may have become unreliable or shifted course. The rivers that nurtured their cities might have dried up or changed their paths, turning fertile plains into barren wasteland. Without a stable food and water supply, their highly organized society would have been impossible to sustain. But it's rarely just one thing. Climate change often acts as a catalyst, amplifying other problems. Think of it as a domino effect. When resources become scarce, societies become stressed. This can lead to internal conflict, social unrest, and war. Neighboring groups who once traded peacefully might turn into fierce competitors for dwindling supplies of food and water. In many cases, we see evidence of this deadly trifecta: climate change, resource collapse, and conflict. The Anasazi, for example, likely faced a combination of drought and deforestation. As they cut down trees for construction and fuel, they inadvertently worsened the effects of the dry climate, leading to soil erosion and further resource depletion. This pressure cooker environment likely sparked intense violence and warfare, forcing them to flee their homes. Sometimes, the very success of a civilization can sow the seeds of its own destruction. Take Easter Island, or Rapa Nui. Its people carved and erected hundreds of colossal stone statues, the moai, a feat of incredible engineering and social organization. But this obsession may have led to their downfall. To transport these massive statues, they likely cut down all the island's trees, leading to catastrophic ecological collapse. Without trees, they couldn't build canoes for fishing. Their soil eroded, and their societies spiraled into chaos and starvation. It's a stark lesson in how overexploitation of resources can lead a society to the brink. Nature's power is another recurring theme. The Minoan civilization, centered on Crete, was a sophisticated maritime power, but their home was in a geologically active region. Around 1600 BC, the nearby island of Thera, now known as Santorini, exploded in one of the largest volcanic eruptions in human history. The resulting tsunamis would have devastated the Minoan fleet and coastal settlements. The massive ash cloud would have blocked out the sun, causing crop failures and a volcanic winter. While they may have survived the initial blast, the long-term environmental consequences would have been catastrophic, weakening them and leaving them vulnerable to invasion from the mainland. As we sift through the ruins of these lost worlds, a sobering picture emerges. These were not primitive peoples. They were intelligent, adaptable, and highly organized. They built wonders, created art, and understood the world in ways we are still trying to comprehend. Yet, they vanished. The stories of these fallen civilizations serve as a powerful mirror for our own time. We, too, live in a complex, interconnected global society. We have built towering skyscrapers and digital networks, and we've reached for the stars. But are we any less vulnerable? We are currently facing our own unprecedented challenges. We are witnessing rapid climate change, widespread resource depletion, and growing social and political tensions. We see deforestation on a massive scale, pollution of our oceans and rivers, and a loss of biodiversity that threatens the very ecosystems we depend on. Are we heeding the warnings that history has left for us? The Maya didn't know their agricultural practices were contributing to a regional drought. The people of Easter Island couldn't have foreseen the total collapse of their island's ecosystem. But we can. We have the science, the data, and the historical hindsight to understand the consequences of our actions. The question is not whether we could face a similar fate, but whether we will choose a different path. The ghosts of the past are speaking to us. They are whispering warnings from their abandoned cities and silent tombs. They are reminding us that no civilization, no matter how advanced or powerful, is guaranteed to last forever. The future of our own civilization depends on whether we are willing to listen. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the mysteries of our ancient past. If you found this exploration as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that shape our world. What lost civilization intrigues you the most? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.